Okay, so we're going to be drawing the mouth today. So it's good to start with a lighter pencil, like an H pencil. I'll start with my 4H. When we're beginning to draw the mouth, we'll start with a little U shape, which is the center of the top of the mouth. From there, we're going to draw our curved lines out from that U shape, and I'm just kind of making a little bit of a hook at the top as I bring it out. So it's kind of like an upside down check mark on top of that U shape. Then we're going to mirror that right underneath. So we're going to do another little U shape, but less curved underneath the first one. And then we're going to bring that out toward the edges of the mouth. And then we'll draw the bottom of the mouth first, which will be a little bit further of a distance than the top of the mouth. So usually people's bottom lip is larger than the top lip. So we'll start with just a light line that will bring out towards the edges. And notice that I'm not fully connecting my lines in the corner. Okay, so I'm leaving them open, they're not touching each other because I'm going to go back and add shading. You can also add the little teardrop shape above the lips, which is just below where the nose would go. And then you can put kind of two brackets around that, and that's going to indicate where we're going to leave some highlights. Jill? Then we'll go back into the mouth and we will add in just a few subtle lines to indicate where we might add some shading and texture. So it's kind of like the mouth wrinkles, I guess you could say. But we're not going to leave those lines. We're going to shade them in because we don't want them to stay lines. They're going to turn into shading. Now I've done the outline, I can switch to a darker pencil. I'll just go with my B pencil now. And we're going to start adding some shading. So again, holding the pencil so that the lead can be used on its side. And as with everything, we want to decide where our light source is. So where are we going to have more shading and where are we going to have less shading? So I like to put my light source on the left side. So that means my right side is going to have more shading. Can you get it? I'm recording, so I can't stop. I'm recording. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so adding shading more on the right side than the left side. You can go in to the center of the lips, and that's generally going to be the darkest part. There'll be a shadow underneath. I'm leaving a bit of a highlight just above the mouth where the little teardrop shape is. Might switch to a darker pencil now, like a 4B. When I'm shading inside the lips, you guys, just look up. You'll want to follow the shape of the lips. So I'm actually kind of curving my shading a bit to follow the curvature of how the lips would be. And that will give you a more three-dimensional effect. I'm going to go back in a second. I'm going to blend it. And again, generally it's darker in the center, so my shading can be darker and then start to fade out. I'm leaving some areas of highlight as well. I don't want to fully shade that in. So I'll take my blending pencil and then I can start to shade it in just using the blending pencil, blending stick. And again, just like with the nose, with the mouth, you don't want to have any hard lines. So I'm going back and I'm blending even that H pencil that I started with, because I don't want there to be any outlines. Okay, unless someone's literally wearing lip liner, they're probably not going to have an outline around their mouth. So we need to blend out those lines to make it look more natural. Now I've pretty much blended away all my highlight, but I'm going to go back with my kneaded eraser here in a moment, and I'm going to add back in that highlight. I just want to blend some of my shadows here. Again, remembering that most people's skin is not the color of the paper, so we need to pretty much add a little bit of shading everywhere so that it's not too light. Okay, now would be a good time to even go back in with the darkest pencil, my 6B, and really get some dark areas. And for the mouth, that will be just in the center of the lips and feathered out from there. And it's looking good. I'm going to add maybe back in some highlights with my kneaded eraser by just making a little tip on the end. I can get quite an amount of detail by taking away some of the lead. And again, my light source is on the left side, so I'm going to only just lighten up the left side. You can even go back into where you've blended and even just lighten that up a bit if you wanted to. I've got some more highlight on the left side. And now I'm just refining. I'm just finding areas where it might need a little bit more texture, a little bit more shading. So I'm just adding some more shading to the right side because I know that's where my shadows are. And blending with the blending stick. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's about a 10-minute mouth. So I would say for you guys, I wouldn't want you to spend any more time than about 10 minutes per mouth. Let's do 5 or 6 of those. I would like at least one of them to also be with teeth. So the mouth should be a little bit open. You can look at a reference photo for that online and look at other reference photos as well so that you can make each one of your mouths a little bit different.